Business coaching for startups. Right on, right on. That's my favorite thing. I love helping startups. That's what we're going to talk through. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so when it comes to coaching and helping startups, this video is going to be focused on what to look for and how to find a coach, and actually, do you need one? So when we start talking about coaching and startups in particular, a little bit of caution. There's a lot of people out there who say they may be a coach, they may be doing this, but make sure you vet them and ask them and get a little experience and understand where they're at. Personally, I've been in the business of startups for over 30 years. I've done 16 companies on my own, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds. That's why I wrote the book, Aspiring Solopreneur, and we have an entire course online. It's very affordable, but you go through, it's got a bunch of accompanying videos, and it's as if you have that coach there for you as you go through each one of the videos. So one of the key things that I think you need to understand is when you're looking for a business coach, why? Why are you looking for this coach, and what are you expecting this coach to do? Because ideally, you're going to be the one who invests the majority of the energy. Now, a coach can help maybe adjust thinking, maybe challenge you in different ways and look in different ways. And I work with people a lot on that, but to be candid, I'm usually way too expensive for most people doing startups. So that's why I created the course. But what I would encourage you to think about is how can you build a team of advisors? And you can do this with no money, experts in their fields, and people that you can go through and actually interview and define, hey, these are great people that can help act as coaches for you today and on an ongoing basis for your business. So when we talk about a team of advisors, this is where it has never been easier or safer to start a business. And it's easy to go through and vet and decide, is this something I really want to do? So there's multiple steps in how you do that. So one is just the initial step of defining why you want to do it, and we talk a lot about this in other videos on this channel, but helping understand what are your motivations, and then what is your tentative proof of concept, your idea that you'd like to try. What is it mostly, but not perfect? Don't make it perfect yet, just get a rough idea. And then once you have that, there's ways that you can go out and talk with other existing people who maybe are already supplying those goods or services and see what else they have to say. And we specifically ask the questions on how you do that. Most people are more than willing to help. And if they're not, blow them off, go to the next one. Start talking to people who are potentially looking at using your product or service. Don't sell them though. And we talk about this in BizDev and other videos here. But when you go and approach somebody, if they feel like you're trying to sell them, walls will go up, they'll be like, I'm out. But if you go and say, hey, look, I would really love to get your feedback and some help. Innately, we always want to help each other. We want to help people. And when you do that and say, look, I'm considering doing this, I'm looking at doing that, this is how I'm looking at approach it. If you were in my shoes, how would you be approaching that? How would you be handling that? And then really listen. Now, the key with listening is listen to understand and be curious. Don't listen to respond and try and be right. You do that, people will sense it and it'll piss them off. So once you start figuring out what the product or service you want is, and again, we've got other videos that help this, then the idea is how can you build an amazing team of advisors around you that are going to help you still vet the idea, decide, is this something I really want to do? And the best team of advisors that I always suggest, and again, we talk about it in the book, is, first off, I usually suggest that you find a great small business accountant. And there's multiple videos on how to find an ideal accountant. But with the accountant is going to help you identify structures. It's going to help you identify potentially other potential people you can work with. Be aware of what are some of the extra expenses that you may or may not be aware of. What's the government going to take from a revenue standpoint? Give you starts ideas, insurance, and all those other things. But also, most accountants are pretty good at knowing other people in the industries and other industries. And once you find an accountant you connect with, then ideally that accountant is going to refer you to an attorney. And then you can talk with the attorney back and forth, small business attorney, not your divorce attorney, but a small business attorney, and say, hey, here's where I am with this. This is what the accountant was suggesting we go with an LLC, and this is why. What do you think? Get their feedback. But then the attorney is also going to be able to help you to say, yeah, okay, cool. And again, most of these professionals will invest a half hour of their time or more just to explore, is this a good fit? So this is where you talk with the attorney, be curious, don't be afraid of challenging them, make sure that they're using words and language that you understand, and say, hey, what else do I need to be aware of? What other things do I need? They're going to start coaching you on the types of documents, the contracts, structure. What are those things that you need? Say, okay, cool. So what else do I need to be aware of? Well, what do you have for insurance? Whoop. Likely they'll be able to introduce you, or if your accountant has been able to a small business insurance agent, somebody that's going to be able to help you and cover your bases, from your workman's compensation if you need to have it, maybe you do, maybe you don't, all the way down to what are your errors and omissions, do you need liability insurance, what are those things, and maybe sometimes even your contracts are going to require that. Through all of these, you're always going to be asking for, who else should I need to know? Ideally, somebody's going to introduce you to a great small business banker. And we have other videos on this, but having a great small business banker is spectacular. The challenge is most bankers aren't, and they aren't legally allowed to say, no, I don't work with small people like you and I'm not interested. So they're going to lie to you, waste your time, frustrate you. But when you can find the right small business attorney, you're off to the races. Now, you may also lead into other areas where maybe they could even introduce you to other people who are quote unquote competitors, but maybe those competitors are full up and they'd like to refer some business to you. That happens more than you think. Maybe they'll introduce you to advertising or marketing people that you can actually trust. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing and rarely has it worked for me. So I'm pretty cynical on that. But when you start building that team, you get those people around you. Those people can act as your coaches, as your team of advisors. So when you're building your small business, you have them right there and you've got what you need. And it'll be here. And I have relationships that I've had for 20 years with some of these key people. So ideally you found some value in this. If you'd like to learn more about our courses, we have a very affordable online course at aspiringsolopreneur.com that can help you really safely go through and determine why it's important that you want to do what you're looking for, how to vet that idea, build that team of advisors, and then prep and really get ready for launch, so that you know without any doubt when you're ready to pull the trigger, this is a no-brainer, and I'm really excited to go forward. Ideally, again, you had some value with this. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the other videos, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Keep smiling. Thank you.